Hi, everyone, and welcome to my review of Captain Fantastic! This is a brand new indie film, I believe premiered at the Sundance Film Festival this year. The movie stars Viggo Mortensen and a lot of very talented children, and some actors that play older children that I've seen before in the past. So what is this movie about? Was I excited to see it? Yes, very much so. I saw the trailer, I believe, a few months ago. I'm a big fan of Viggo ever since I saw him in Lord of the Rings. And I heard a little bit about this film from Sundance, not too much, but when the trailers came out, the movie just looked something different. I didn't know at the time who made the film. After the fact, I found out. The film is made by an actor and director and writer. His name is Matt Ross. And he's most notable for, right now, being on Silicon Valley. I can't remember what he plays in the film, like the leader of Hoogly or something, something like that, this rival company that's against Pied Piper. If you watch Silicon Valley, you probably know more than I do, even though I have watched all 3 seasons of that show. So this guy's known more for acting, and I've never seen him as a writer and director, and this is an original piece. At least according to the film, it's not based on anything. I think he was inspired by being a parent himself. And the movie is about parenting, but in a very unique, different, and not so normal way that we're so used to, or at least I'm so used to. Viggo Mortensen plays a man who is married to a woman who has 5 or 6 or 7 kids, ranging from 17 to 18 to maybe 7 or 6 years old. And they're hippies. They're off the grid. They live their own life. They hunt. So they're not vegans. They like meat. They hunt. They live off the land. They do go into the community every once in a while to do some personal things, use the phone, whatever else. But mainly they are by themselves, dealing with themselves, teaching themselves, going on adventures with themselves, killing animals together as a family, reading books, following their, pretty much sounds like their prophet, Noam Chomsky, which I've heard about, don't know much about his ideology or theologically, that's not a word, sorry, his thoughts and feelings about the world, yes. So there's this small little community out living, I don't know where, maybe Oregon or Colorado. I can't remember where they actually were living in the film. And tragedy strikes. Their mom dies. I'm not going to say how or when or where, but she dies. And the funeral is going to happen, but they have not been invited to the funeral because their mother's parents, their grandparents, don't want anybody to show up, or at least don't want Viggo Mortensen's character to show up. Maybe the kids can come, but not Viggo. They're upset with him. They feel like that he stole their daughter and took them off into this weird world. And so they round up the kids together. They decide we're going to go to mom's funeral. They get into a bus called Steve, and they hit the road, and the movie becomes also a road movie. So not only is it a drama, a little bit of comedy, adventure, life questions, and reality, it also is a road movie. And then they go on this adventure, and the movie goes from there. Again, I was very excited to see this film. This movie looked amazing. I got very emotional, even watching the initial trailer, and I was hoping that impact would hit me as I watched the film. What surprised me the most as I watched this film, how my feelings for it went back and forth. The moral compass in me was like, I like these people one minute, and then I don't. I'm into what they're into, but then I'm not. There's some things that they do that I question. I think a lot of the audience members questions. A lot of the audience members laughed. I laughed a little bit when there's this really elaborate scene that they do together as a family that I don't think any family that I know of has ever done together, but maybe they have. Out in the wilderness, in the mountains, it was so absurd. I could not believe what I was witnessing. It was just so fascinating. So there's a lot of things that I was like, I love these people. I love these characters. You've really helped me to grow to care about these characters. But the side of me really questions what they're teaching their children, how they, because Viggo Mortensen's characters are really, he's very truthful to his kids, or the truth according to him. if his kids ask him questions about life and religion and sex and stuff, he'll straight up answer the question, even though the kid's maybe 5 or 6 years old. Just be straight up with them. Lots of language. The kids use bad language. The parents use bad language. It's just, they live their own lives the way they want. And suddenly when they get into the real world, some real major conflict that happens in the film that include their grandpa, who's played by Frank Langella. They meet their aunt and uncle, played by Catherine Ha and Steven Zahn. So there's some interesting dynamic between their kids and the kids of the main story. So I have to say that my feelings for this film was always interested, even though interesting is a word that they don't even like using, but it's just, I don't know how better to describe. It was just so interesting, so fascinating to see this walk of life, this way of life. Some things that I appreciated, others I was like, that is really bad parenting. So I feel like Viggo Mortensen's character really has a major progression in this film. I mean, you really see him at one point, and at the end of the film, he's something else. I don't want to say. I had some major conflict, not bad, but when it was wrapping up in the final act of the movie, I was like, it all depends on how this film ends, how I'm ultimately going to feel about this movie, because the whole journey has been really amazing, but I don't know. It's hard to end a movie that is such an incredible experience to watch. Characters that are so interesting. The kids are acting is great. Viggo Mortensen is the best thing he's ever done in his entire career. I believe he's been nominated for an Oscar before, and I hope that he does not get forgotten for this movie, because it's like one of the best things I've ever seen this guy do. But how the movie wraps up at the end and the final moments of the movie just were so nice and simple, beautiful, sweet. I really just love the final moments of the movie. I love the final outcome of the film as well. It had a great payoff, and I was really fearful that it wasn't going to, because there was multiple times I think the movie could have ended, and I didn't want it to end, and I'm glad it went along just a little bit more to get to where it finally ended. Very interesting film. Really glad to see something original, something not based on something, maybe based on a real life situation. Though what's so great about this movie as well is that it's so believable, because these kids I've seen some of them I've seen before, others I haven't, but I really believed in this family unit. I really believed that these people were a family, that they were out there. Viggo Mortensen is so convincing as this father that's battling with his own demons. He loved his wife. He loves his kid. He loves his world that he's created, but it's now being questioned by the outside world. So I love this whole entire journey. Maybe there's something that bothers me if I think about it more, or after maybe I watch it again, it might bother me. But overall, this is one of the best movie experiences I've had all year. I really love this film. It is something so unique, and it's so nice, again, to see something original, not based on anything that I know of, an original idea. And I'm looking forward to more films from Matt Ross as a writer and director. This guy's got a great eye and a great mind for telling stories. I think hopefully we'll see more films coming from him in the near future, not only as an actor, but as a writer and director. Yeah, I love this film. I thought it was great. I want to highly recommend it to you. Get a chance, check out Captain Fantastic, and I am going to give the film 4 stars out of 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.